Sorry to go off on a tangent. We see all this coming out with P. Diddy.
Yeah.
50 Cent has been on this for years. There's years of 50 Cent talking about Diddy being a fucking weirdo.
Have you seen the Bieber clip?
Bieber?
Like that is a bit creepy, isn't it?
You gotta get invited to certain parties and certain events to make it to the next level in Hollywood, and a lot of them are saying, like, you get told by these older guys, like, just make sure you know they when Diddy's there, and
Jesus Christ.
Some man they wanna chat shit till I knock 'em, ain't like I'm Jack Shaw. Rolls hot, rolls back, my flow sharp like a hacksaw.
Finally back. My voice is going a bit. I don't know what from. I'm not ill. I'm not tired. Maybe I've been doing the John Jones.
What's been going on? What have you been up to?
I was training hard. That's why I'm not getting any of these done. You're busy with work, and to be honest, it's hard for me at the minute. Not hard for me with the training. It's hard to get, but to balance it all out, I kind of got to prioritise training and seeing the baby and stuff like that. So it is hard to always fit them in, but we managed to pull it off, haven't we? But no, just training.
The different balance now, like having a kid as well. Is that like?
Oh yeah,
It's got to be, innit?
My time priority. I think we touched on it on the last podcast, didn't we? About like my social media and stuff. It's like, just you've got to prioritise your time so much more now. It's like I'll go training in the morning, and usually before the baby, like I'd get home at 9, walk the dogs, and my day would be mine for the rest of the days. Now I got to think, right, anything that needs doing kind of needs to be doing now, either before I get in or needs to be doing after I leave the house, because I'm dad now when I'm in the house. You know what I mean? I'm not. I love it. You know what I mean? I love it, but it's been a good in a way, because I've definitely made me prioritise my time better. But I'm prioritising my training time better. You know,
you don't waste hours now, innit?
No, I'm not going to the gym and, do you know what I mean, to hang about for an hour before and stay and chat after. I might come across rude probably to some of the lads. I'm not. It's just a case I want to get in there, get warm, train, get showered, and get home to see my boy. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's been good. Camp's been going really good. Weight's nice and low. You probably see it in my face a little bit. Feeling good. Getting some good rounds in. Sparring with the boys. Brett's fighting 2 weeks before me.
Has that been announced yet then? Like,
yeah, that's been announced. Reece McEwen's been down. He's fighting the same time as Brett. Scott Malone's been down.
I see that, yeah.
He's been down. He's still here now. He's doing 2 weeks of us. Johan Harris has been coming up regular. Johan Harris is 3-0 pro, I think. He's fighting on Aries. Big Welsh prospect, IMAF champion. And obviously all the killers in the gym as well. So I've been having really good rounds. Scotty, we've been doing most of my rounds with Scotty, Brett, Ors. Ben Ellis has been coming up as well.
Some people will be seeing some of the footage on the vlog, and
yeah,
I tell you what, you would have paid to see some of them rounds that day.
Yeah, like you said, you come and film. I was there 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
done a bit of a boxing session, and we might start an OnlyFans to release it on, because I don't know how much of that we should put out for free, because it was a pretty brutal session. I've been sparring with Rhys Edwards as well. All the Welsh boxing fans know Rhys says he's got a fight coming up week after me. I won't say who against yet, because I don't think they've announced it, but he's fighting on the Lauren Price card. And put it this way, if he wins this one, he's on the big things himself. And boxing a boxer, not just any boxer, but a boxer like Rhys, who's got world title potential, is exactly what you need to keep you humble and know that you got to keep improving. And it's been great having rounds with him. I think I've given a good account of myself. I think I've sparred with him well, and he said to me after the last one that it feels, I haven't sparred Rhys for about 2.5 years, and he said it feels like you've come on massively. But yeah, it's been great getting rounds with him. Perfect prep for me against a striker, and I don't think anyone I fight is going to be as fast and as hard as Rhys. So yeah, been good, been busy, but getting it in.
How does it translate, like boxing with him? Like, obviously you train with Gary and stuff, but he's like solely putting all his time into that.
It's like I was telling this to the boys. It's like we were sparring Thursday now. He whacked me with a jab. He whacked me with another jab, and I thought, right, he throws that fucking jab now. I'm gonna counter him. I know he's throwing it. Boom, whacks me with another jab. It's like he's so fast, and his range. The boxers, they're so good with their range and knowing when they're in range and when they're out of range. And they don't give no tell. Like whenever I've sparred some real good MMA fighters, you know, real good eye level. I've sparred Cage Warriors champions. Even when I was out in America, I've sparred UFC championship caliber fighters, and it's kind of a little bit different. It's like with an high level boxer, they don't give no tell. It's like I'm like to think of myself as a good boxer, and I like to think that and especially for MMA, and I got a good read, and I see things where I got good eyes, but I don't see a lot of I don't see a lot of what he throws. I don't see a lot of coming. Maybe I might have dodging the right hands and keeping the eye guard on the hooks and stuff, but his jab's just so fast.
I think it was your old man story. I think he put a bit of the footage on, didn't he? Like maybe
it was him just pinging me with a jab.
I was thinking just like the speed is unreal.
Imagine you got a spear, right? Imagine sparring with someone with a spear, with a glove on it, and just boof, boof. That's what it was like. There was no read on it in the end. In the end, I was kind of just like, right, just catch it and try and just keep your hands up, take on the gloves and try and come back with something. But no, I don't go in to try and outbox or beat Reese in boxing rounds. I'm not delusional, but I just go in there to try and almost hold my own to an extent. I'm not going to win the rounds, but keep myself nice and tight, and it gets me in good habits. Sometimes when I spar boys who are not as sharp on the feet, because I can get away with it, the hands start dropping. I don't set stuff up as much. I might throw a lazy jab. If I throw a lazy jab against him, he's just going to counter it every day. So, it's been brilliant.
I suppose defensively, if this guy you're fighting is a lot faster or like similar speed to Reese, at least you'll have some sort of weight and know how to defend. And
you do well to be as fast as him, I mean. Yeah. He's like, they don't call him lightning for no reason. Yeah, but no, that's exactly it, and that's exactly why I've brought him in. It's for that. It's the guy I'm fighting is obviously likes to strike, throws hard and fast, and I won't say Reese is sort of simulating him or emulating him, but my old man saying certain things to him before, can you try and do a little bit more of this? And he's doing it, and it's been really good work for me. And it's getting me in really good habits. And
class.
I'm not coming as much as I'm not winning the rounds. I'm not coming from it deflated, and thinking, God, I've just got to beat the piss out of for 8 rounds. I have, but I've done all right.
You feel good about it.
Yeah,
still.
I've done all right.
Yeah. Well, what was I going to say? Is Joe Cordina fighting on that card, that Lauren Price card?
No, I think Cordina is actually fighting on the Fury undercard.
That was it. I remember seeing something.
Week. I think it's the week after, or maybe even the same week as the Lauren Price card. But the Lauren Price card is in Cardiff in the Motorpoint, isn't it? So I would go down, but we got Samurai the same night, and got a couple of boys fighting. So unfortunately, I won't be able to get down there. But yeah, Joe Cordina, we got big time for Welsh boxing. Joe Cordina. There's a Lauren Price is now fighting, looking to become Wales's not second world champion, but second active world champion with her and Joe. That'd be massive for the sport, wouldn't it? So big times. And
Joe will be do some like big name sort of caliber. He'll just have to move up a weight, I think, will he, to get them sort of names?
Yeah, I think you'll probably want to unify the belt, one or two of the belts. But I think the bigger names what's Joe, £130? I think he fights
I
at.
think so.
135 is the division to be at in there, or even 140. I mean, you got Devin Haney and Garcia now at 140. That's been announced. Garcia been on one big time on.
Mental, mate, isn't it?
But you see sorry to go off on a tangent, we see all this shit coming out with P. Diddy.
Yeah.
And then you start to think to yourself, like,
is he lying? Like,
some of what he's saying got a bit of substance to it. And I don't know if you've seen, do you watch the Cat Williams interview a couple of weeks ago?
The one that I didn't see, I've seen clips of it, but I haven't seen.
He is talking about all the stuff that is coming out about Diddy now, like about possible like the child trafficking or the sex trafficking or the gay rumors. He's talking about all that.
Have you seen the Bieber clip?
Bieber,
like that is a bit creepy, isn't it? And I can always remember an article coming out. It was about 4 or 5 years ago. Bieber talking about him getting brought into one of these parties and having to see all this stuff to be part of it, like sort of thing.
50 Cent has been on this for years. There's years of 50 Cent talking about Diddy being a fucking weirdo from probably 15, 20 years ago. Honestly, I don't know if we can pull any up or whatever and put him underneath, but there's ones of him talking about Diddy trying to take him shopping, and there's stuff like, there's like rappers coming out and being like, if you get invited, there's one of Cat Williams. He's like, if P. Diddy invites you to the party, you gotta say no. It doesn't matter what. And it's like this stuff coming out from 50 Cent. You reckon Jay-Z's in on it? There's loads and loads of it coming out at the minute, and there's rappers coming out and they kind of told like, you gotta get invited to certain parties and certain events to make it to the next level in Hollywood. And a lot of them are saying, like, you get told by these older guys, like, just make sure you know they when Diddy's there. And
Jesus Christ.
I heard Denzel Washington saying years ago, this was in an interview, and I seen it on TikTok the other day, probably, again, 5-6 years ago. It's like, if you ever get invited to a party in Hollywood, make sure you leave before the devil comes. And it's like, fucking hell, I don't know, it's all gelling together. I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but
something's happening, isn't it? Something
when you got all
dodgy.
these people like Cat Williams and 50 Cent and everyone coming out about it, does make you start to wonder. And from what I've been listening to online and stuff, is like Diddy's I think his house in Miami and LA both got raided by the FBI, and it's like the FBI ain't just raiding your house on a whim, are they? Just when, you know, hoping they catch a bit of weed and cocaine there. It's they're going in there because they know they're looking for something. There's something in there they're looking for. Do you know what I mean? And
isn't it mad though, like the contrast between, like, you see like Tate gets raided in his house and everyone's like, he's innocent. Diddy gets raided and everyone's like, he's guilty. Like, isn't it mad that, like,
and then,
but you can see, like, he's
but
just
then
so
also
dodgy.
you see shit like when Tate gets raided, it's all over the BBC News. It's everywhere. Andrew Tate arrested for sex trafficking, not charged, like arrested.
Yeah.
But then Diddy's house gets raided on the same thing, and now I haven't seen one news article about. I've only seen it on Instagram and TikTok. I haven't seen one news article about it over here.
Like, who's he linked to? Who's been at these parties? Who's seen all this and not said anything? Isn't it?
And then there's like, you know, it's just. Then, like I said, it comes out about this thing with Dane, and then people are pulling up these clips from Denzel Washington and 50 Cent and all these rappers from 10, 15, 5 years ago. Bieber clips saying similar things, and it makes you start to wonder, like, is there some... Well, there's got to be some substance to it. I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
That Bieber thing is...
That's
is
not
like,
a coincidence. The Bieber clip, 50 Cent's been saying it for years. Multiple rappers have come out, and then this happens, and we just expect to be like, no, it's just people blown out of proportion. Nah. There's definitely some associates not sleeping very well in Hollywood.
Who was it? Someone got killed, didn't
Biggie Smalls is turning his grave, I bet, isn't he?
Yeah. I can't remember what it was. Was it some sort of his assistant who made claims, or someone got killed, didn't they, not long ago?
Well, this have all come from his ex-missus, who I think he got with when she was like 18, which is kind of suspect in himself because he's like fucking 53 now, so I think it would have worked out that he was like 35 odd. So that's suspect before, and I think it's come out that, like, she said he used to, like, abuse her and rape her and force her to do stuff with other people. I think, don't quote me on that, but I remember seeing it online a couple of months or a year or so ago. And I think it's kind of stemmed from that now, that they're starting to, like, look into it a little bit more, and, you know, that's what we can title today's episode.
Yeah, P. Diddy.
P. Diddy's going to jail.
Exposing P. Diddy.
Yeah. But, no, yeah, I don't know, it's a little bit strange, I think. I think there's what's the old saying? There's no smoke without fire.
That's what they say. That whole world's crazy, though, isn't it? The whole Hollywood thing. Like, you always see it, don't you? It's all, like, all these things have been coming out for years. The Epstein stuff, now this. And it's like, is Garcia full of shit? Because he's been in that world since he was young as well, hasn't he? He's been, like, involved in being a social media sort of
same with
character.
Justin Bieber. Like, you notice he doesn't really... You don't see a lot of... I know you don't see him hanging about at the celebrity parties and stuff like that anymore, do you know what I mean? And, yeah, I don't know. It's...
You're so vulnerable at that age to it all as well, aren't you? And you kind of feel like you're invincible. And
I think as well, when you're sitting there, like, P. Diddy's probably on the verge of being a billionaire, I would guess, right? Like... He can kind of do... He can't within the law, but, like, he could go anywhere he wants. He can buy anything he wants. So there's got to be, like... This is why they all get fucking weird, in my opinion, because it's like he can pretty much be a sort of... In terms of, like, prostitution and escort, like, he can probably pay for any caliber woman he wants, you know. If he likes to look at a certain woman, boom, I'll use fucking 10 grand, whatever. It gets to a certain point, well, ultimately, then you're not getting... If you can do that... How long do you do that for before you think, I don't get a buzz off this no more?
Yeah, you're not getting your, like,
what can I do? What can I do next?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you start doing the illegal fucking noncy weird shit. This episode's definitely going to get removed. Isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. I think we'll have to split this from the 300.
We'll have to chuck this one on Spotify. But, yeah, fuck P. Diddy.
It's going to be some fun nicknames come out, like, if it all comes out.
The Diddler, I seen 50 Cent. They call him the Diddler. Did he do it? There's another one. Did he done? But yeah, weird times. And Ryan Garcia kind of, like we said, that's how we got to the topic. I mean, he's fighting Devin Haney, and he's been going wild on Twitter and Instagram. And he's even been coming out and saying, listen, this, like, I seen a clip of him on TikTok. He was in a Twitter, you know, Spaces?
Yeah.
Twitter's like a group voice chat. He's like, I've come on here to tell you all that I'm not, someone hasn't hacked my account. I'm not off my nut. Like, I'm telling you this sober, in the house, this shit is going on. You know what I mean?
I've seen him on like different people's streams, like Aiden Ross's streams and all that sort of stuff. And he seems all with it. I think he's all with it. I think, well, I fuck knows.
Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny that whenever something like this happens and someone speaks out against it, they try and make them come across wacky and, oh, he's fucking mentally ill.
Conspiracy theorists.
They did it.
Sort of
they
thing,
did it to Cat Williams years ago. You know, who was just talking about. They're doing it to Ryan Garcia. No, he's mentally ill. He's not right in the head. They did it to Kanye West. All right, Kanye West did dabble in a bit of anti-Semitism. We won't get into that. But they made Kanye West look like a lunatic. You know, and I've seen they brought out like flight logs now. Kanye West never been on the Epstein flight logs. He never been on the P. Diddy flight logs. He's been going at P. Diddy for years, Kanye West. Like the last 2-3 years, said, I don't like the way you act. He put screenshots of him texting, I don't like the way you act. I don't want to be around you. Don't be around me. And it makes you think. But then all of a sudden that comes out and all of a sudden Kanye West is mentally ill.
Yeah.
You know, the Kardashians slandered Kanye West. Oh, he's not mentally ill. He doesn't sit around kids. Do you know where the Kardashians live? Probably fucking 2 minutes down the road from fucking P. Diddy. They all mixing in the same circles. I know I'm getting a bit wacky now, but
you'll be fucking
I've been thinking about this. I don't give a cancel me. I can't be cancelled anyway. I'm not big enough to be cancelled.
You'll be taken off the fight card next.
Yeah, we're moving to the early prelims. But yeah, it's...
Yeah, mate, there's some fucking wrong shit going on.
Yeah, listen.
And I think power, money, like... The only reason I'd ever want like a load of money, I feel like, is to be free and just to be able to do what I actually want to do every day with my life. Whereas I think some people want it as like this fucking big game and to do evil shit with. And
and you see all this shit about, like they do all this devil worshipping. I mean, that's another fucking story altogether, isn't it? But it kind of all links in. There've always been this thing around Hollywood, and there's always been these conspiracies around Hollywood. And the last couple of years, it feels like it's all starting to come out in the wash a little bit. Like, again, people are going to think I'm a nut now, but... You know, Alex Jones, he got slandered for years, didn't he? But Joe Rogan always says this. He's like, he talked about the Epstein thing 20 years ago. Said that Epstein has gone island where he traffics kids and they all rape the kids and have sex with the kids and just disgusting shit. And everyone was like, he's a fucking lunatic. All right, he's done the Sandy Hook stuff and all, which he was way off on. And yeah, admittedly, like, but he was bang on with that one. And like, you look at like Kanye West saying stuff and Cat Williams saying stuff, and now he's coming through. He's like, are the press gonna go back now and write that same? We always say it on here, don't we, about Tate? Yeah. Like, if he gets off with this charge now and he gets proven innocent, are the BBC gonna do an interview with him to talk about how innocent he is?
It's small print, won't it?
Of course it will.
I think as well. You know, like these clips of P. Diddy and Bieber and all that. Like all the weird clips coming out about him are from like 10 years ago, say 15 years ago, before people really knew how big the internet was going to be and how much impact it would have. And I think that's why all this stuff is coming out now, because you're able to see so much on the internet. You can't get away with things like you used to. You can't do dodgy stuff and not be exposed.
And it's funny, I was always right under our nose as well. It's almost as if like they get a kick out of, or they got a kick for years of doing it right in front of our face. Like did he know he's being filmed on that thing with Bieber? Getting weird with him, and it's like, you can see how uncomfortable Bieber is, can't you? You can see it.
Mate, a bit different, but I had a mate who got caught, right, with like a load of fucking images on his laptop.
Former mate. We should.
I just want to put that out there. Yeah, he's no longer a mate. I don't even know where, like, he's disappeared off the face of the earth. Yeah, hopefully. But like, he's like just one of the boys out on the piss or whatever, but he'd always like make them sorts of jokes. But like, you just think, anyway, he's taking a piss, sometimes takes it a bit far. And then didn't see him for like fucking 2 or 3 years. And then boom, article in the like online, and it's like, fucking hell, delete all my photos on Facebook with him.
Yeah.
Don't want that to end up on Wales
serious.
Online.
That's what I mean. It's the same with this Hollywood stuff. They almost do it in front of our faces, don't they? Like, you see like all the symbolism and stuff. Like you see stuff with, and it's almost as if they do it on purpose. They're like, look at these lot just soaking it up and doing nothing about it. I feel like now it's a bit of a revolution now, and it's all coming full circle. And you have got high up celebrities like your Ryan Garcia's, who's got a massive following, like your Cat Williams is, like that Cat Williams podcast. I think it done. Pull it up on YouTube, see how many views it's on. But these big celebrities are coming out and talking about it, and it's like, it's almost as if the revolution is going to flip it on his head, and it's like, no, people are not going to be afraid. Oh, yeah, what's it saying?
64 million.
64 million.
That's insane, isn't it? And his Rogan then, like a month later, had 16 million.
Yeah, the Rogan one was a bit, he didn't really gain all that shit, but...
No, but the reason it did that many views is because people was expecting it, weren't they?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's 60... You look at Kanye West, everyone, they all kind of cancel Kanye, and then like his album is number one and has been number one for like the last month.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's like it's all flipped on his head, but that's enough conspiracy talk, I think, for today, Joe, for we lose every subscriber we've got.
It's all laying out there, mate. It's all on the table.
Judge us if you like.
I also think as well, sorry, I'm going to keep on to it now.
Oh, come on, let's go on the rabbit hole.
Yeah, fuck it, it's fuck now anyway. I think they throw stuff out there, and like the reason they say like, oh, you're just a conspiracy theorist, you're just this, is because I think they throw some red herrings in, and I think people are so open-minded that they'll take them on board as if like that's true as well, and then that'll end up being found out that it was just false and a conspiracy theorist, and then that person then is ruled out from any other opinion on someone else, like the Alex Jones with Sandy Hook. It's like someone had obviously fed him some information there, and he took it on board and maybe thought that was legit, and then that's completely slandered him for everything 100%. Else.
It's like, oh yeah, but he was wrong about Sandy. I was like, yeah, fair.
I'm wrong about things every day in my life, but I'm right about things as well.
But he's fucking bang on about the Epstein thing. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm just trying to think of other examples. It's like, oh, the COVID fucking jab.
Yeah.
The COVID jab.
Oh, we fucked it now, Jack.
Okay, let's be honest though. Let's be honest, right? And I had to have it. I've had it. I had to have it because I couldn't go to America and fight if I didn't. And I wasn't the UFC made us had it. They were like, you do what you haven't got to do it. Do what you want to do. But if you want to go to America, to get into America, you had to have a COVID jab. I had no choice. I was skint. I had to put money on the table. So I had to have the fucking jab. I haven't had any boosters or whatever since. And if I could go back, I wouldn't have it. But the COVID jab was another one. We were almost made to believe that if we didn't have the COVID jab, we were contributing to the problem, weren't we?
Yeah.
We were... People were almost, what's it called?
Coerced, like...
Vilified if you didn't have the COVID jab. What do you mean you haven't had your jab? Why haven't you had your jab? And it's like, at the time, I kind of not understood it, but I was like, yeah, we want to get it gone, blah, blah, blah. Come out now, you look at the Johnson & Johnson thing, come out now that people are dropping dead from it. And it's like...
Insane. Mate, honestly... Right,
never in history has a vaccine been... I don't think been made, tested and cleared in the amount of time they did it with that. And look, I'm not completely against the jab. Do I think my 85-year-old nan should have had the COVID jab? Yes. Do I think that...
Maybe.
Do I think it's helped certain older people? Maybe, yes. I don't know. I don't know the science behind it.
Yeah.
But me, at the time, a 26-year-old, if I could go back now, would I have it? Or would I have had it under normal circumstances? No. I've never had a flu jab. I've never had nothing like that.
Much pressure.
I feel like, but it was so much pressure, and it was like, so what do I do if I don't? I didn't know when. As far as we were being told, like that rule was never going to change. It was like, no, this is the rule from now. If you want to fly into the USA, you go have the jab.
Could you imagine?
So imagine for me now fighting for a company who predominantly in the USA. If I don't have that jab, then as far as I think, I could fight once every 2 years.
Yeah. I love hearing people say the government can't do that, they couldn't do this, they couldn't. Mate, they locked you in your house for a year.
Fucking hell, come on.
Do you know what I mean? They will do whatever they want. And your neighbour who's telling you they can't do that, they'll be the one to fucking grass you up, like, if you end up
There's
going and doing
government
something.
officials on the Epstein lists in the US. Presidents and vice presidents and mayors and fucking senators. Like, how does that not tell you what you should know? Fucking Boris Johnson had a house party.
Yeah. Mate, honestly, right, when people say to me, they shouldn't have done that, that's so wrong. I'm like, no, they should have done it, and fucking we should have. Everyone should have been able to do it. That just shows you how they weren't frightened, they weren't scared, they weren't worried about it. They couldn't have been.
Who's the guy on I'm a Celebrity? Matt Hancock.
Yeah, fuck it.
Have you seen the text? Where they're saying about, time to roll out about the new strain. time to roll out now so we can do this, this, and this. And it's like, that's out there, like that's legit. And people are still like, the government wouldn't lie to us. There's still people in Tesco's now wearing masks.
Mate, I was just in Morrison's. There's 2 old.
There's people,
I felt sorry for them. I feel like, mate.
There's people on the cashiers working now in Tesco's with masks on. Now, when COVID first come about, we was told, you was told, I was told, I was under the illusion that for the masks to work, everyone has to wear a mask. True, am I right in saying that? Everyone had to wear a mask. If we all wear a mask, it stops us catching it. It stops us putting out in the air, which made no sense anyway, because if we put out in the fucking air, if it can come through the mask to go out in the air, it can come through the mask to go into the body's why go. But that's what we was told. So why now, right? Why now, when no one has got to wear a mask, would you continue to wear a mask? Each to their own, right? Everyone can do what they want, but this is my opinion. If we spent a year believing that everyone has got to wear a mask to stop the spread, why would you wear a mask now when no one else is going on? Because ultimately, if you're wearing it on the basis of, I don't want to catch COVID, it's like, yeah, but they told us everyone's got to be wearing a mask for us not to catch COVID. I know people who have 5 boosters.
Yeah.
It's like, if the fucking vaccine worked in the first place, you wouldn't need a booster.
I love it when
sorry guys about this. We've come here to talk about UFC 300 and
I love it when they're like
we're 40 minutes into conspiracy
I think
talk.
we're gonna have to fuck that episode. I love it when people are like, you need to have your jab, and I'm like, why doesn't yours work? Like,
yeah,
isn't it? If yours works, I don't need to have it.
Yeah,
like I don't get the whole concept behind it. It's crazy. Like, why are you worried I'm going to give it to you if yours works?
People used to say to me when it was kind of coming out that all the mask thing was bullshit, right? I got asthma, so I just used to say I haven't fucking got to wear a mask. I got asthma. Plus, people didn't have to wear them anyway. I think they kind of said like you can't be questioning it. I remember going to Tesco's and one of the cashiers, I was packing my fucking shop and I went down with my mask on, and she goes, "Got an exemption, have you?" And I was like, "Yeah, got asthma." She was like, "Got proof?" I was like, "I don't need proof, but I got asthma." And I looked around, and it was probably between the self-serve and the tills, another 20 people without masks on. And I'm like, so you're worried about me not wearing my mask, but you're not worried about these lot. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it was insane.
What are we doing?
I loved it when you see someone driving down the road wearing a mask and in a car on their own.
It's insane.
Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Who are you protecting yourself from?
Yeah.
Or in case it got in the fucking system when you open the car door. Like,
the aircon. If I got my aircon on, I got to have my mask on.
It was like in the fucking COVID. Oh, you can only leave the house for 30 minutes a day. I didn't fucking listen to that. I was going up my mountain for 3 hours. I was going out on my bike.
We went up Cwmcarn. You know, have you ever been up Cwmcarn on the mountain bikes?
Yeah.
Me and my brother and Scott Lewis went up there, and there was police going up and down like the fire roads there. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
Me and one of the boys was up the mountain. We were just going out for like a 3 hour trek because you're cracking up in the fucking house. And it was like police choppers and that. We was hiding in the trees and shit. And I just paranoid thinking they're looking for us. And I'm like, we're outside. Like, I just don't know. I just remember thinking at the time it was fucking mad.
I remember I had a row with one of my mates. So if he watches his podcast, so you're going to like this. And he was like fucking on the phone to me. He was like, yeah, but like, you got to have a jab because like, what if your nan was to get ill because of you, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, well, that's her choice, like, innit? If she don't want to be around me, then that's absolutely fine. And then all I heard in the background was like, oh yeah, so I can't remember. Oh yeah, it's £5 something or whatever. And I was like, where are you then? He was like, McDonald's drive-thru. And I was like, fucking hell, mate, that's a bit of a risk, innit?
Oh.
Like, imagine if that person breathes on you, like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, would I go around my nan if I was around someone who had COVID? I wouldn't isolate because I didn't feel like I needed to. But I wouldn't go up because my nan was pretty much housebound for the entire thing, 86. I understand it. My other nan was 90 odd. I wouldn't go to the house. I wouldn't do it because I wouldn't want it on my conscience. Or maybe it was me. That was my thing. But at the same time, like, you go to McDonald's drive-thru, so they're preparing the food, they're touching the food, they're putting the food in a bag, they're passing it through the window to you with their mask on. Like, well, if that's contaminated and they pass it into your car, what difference does the drive-thru make?
It's no good for you. I think the main thing is like all that worry is no good for you. That's going to make you ill, isn't it? So many people so worried about it. Like
my sister was the same. She was proper worried about it. Like, she's a worrier anyway. And she was like, I didn't see her for about 3 weeks. She stayed with her boyfriend. She was like, I'm going to, I don't know why it was fucking cold enough. It was called isolating a while. She was over there at the time. And, I remember like us saying like, well, when you just come home, like, I don't know what fucking difference do it make? And she was like, no, I can't. And then eventually she was the same. She was just like, well, hang on. You know, you start sitting down and thinking, because people did panic first week. I get it, right? People,
especially when they're on about shutting the country down.
Yeah, people did panic. But I remember like queuing up for Tesco and they're making you stand 2 meters apart. And it's like, but we're all going in the same.
Mate.
So here's my argument, right? We're going in the same space. So if I got COVID and I breathe it onto the fucking the chicken, I might be 2 meters from you, but then if I walk up 2 meters and then you 2 meters come to the chicken, the fucking...
It's been breathed on, like.
It's the same as anything. It's the same as any flu.
I love it in the restaurants when it was like, when you come in, you got to wear your mask, then sit down and have your meal, you can take it off.
Or put it on to go to the toilet.
Yeah, what the fuck? That is like, that's just proving to you, like, let's see how far we can push these retards.
I remember doing a Facebook post. It was like, they opened the pubs, didn't they? And it was like, photo a table. Come in and one photo a table. Take your mask off when you sit down. But if you go to the toilet, go to put your mask on. I was like, yeah, in all fairness, you know, COVID will only attack us if we're fucking stood up. You know what I mean? It's never going to attack us if we're sat by you. And it was
it's
like,
fucking waiting in the toilet for you.
Oh, we and a couple of boys went out a couple of times when we had the old fight to a table rule and ended up fucking wrestling and everything else. But that was worse because I think what was happening then, they would shut the pubs at 10 o'clock because obviously everyone knows COVID gets fucking worse after 10 o'clock in the night. You'd end up having going to an house party then. Being like fucking 30 of us in someone's living room.
Right, it's mad. And then like the gyms were shut longer than the pubs.
That's insane.
What are you doing? Like
it can't get you in the pub or restaurant, but it can get you in the gym.
Mate, it was fucked, wasn't it?
I remember
when you look back on this in like 20 years, you can be like, well, even now I'm like, what the fuck? At the time I was like, what the fuck? But I don't know, some people, I think, you know, fair play to you because like you obviously had the jab, but you like can look back on it and think, well, fucking maybe I
had the jab, but obviously it wasn't against my will and turn. I wasn't pinned down and fucking they knocked into me. But I was forced into a corner really, not by the UFC, by the fact that I couldn't fly to America. And at the time, it was Fight Island or American. They were doing Fight Island twice a year. Yeah. But they were doing Apex cards every weekend. And it's like, well, unless I'm going to bank on getting on them 2 cards, I ain't going to be able to fight. Yeah.
It's not like you can go do one-to-ones because you can't even get in the gym. So like...
Oh, and it was absolutely insane as well, right? I remember when we flew to Vegas, it was coming up with my memories, funny enough. It was like 3 years ago this week that I went to Vegas. We did 10 days in Vegas. And you used to have to wait. So you're on the plane. There's about fucking 6 of you on the plane, right? They didn't do a direct flight to Vegas because they weren't filling up. So you have to like flight like Dallas, I think we did. About 6 of us on the plane. Gotta wear your mask on the fucking plane. And gotta keep your fucking 2 meters distance. Yeah, no worries, job done. Can't take your mask off, mate. So you sat in a row of 5, there's no one on you. Gotta keep your mask on for the entire flight. Didn't ask no questions, just done it. You get on the fucking plane then in Dallas to go to Vegas, and it's like a cattle grid on there. There's a 1 spare seat. So it's like, this country is forcing me to have this job, yet the plane is rammed, absolutely rammed. It was like, I just never looking at my own, I'm thinking, what the fuck's going on here? Like, do you know?
Fuck, I can remember like the passport and all that.
It's like when I fought in the Apex, and it was all for visual effect. Don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking the UFC. It was all visual. They had to do it, they were forced. But like, my old man and Carl, a corner in with masks on. So it's like, what the fuck am I hearing? And the best bit yet, right? The even better bit is, when I had to do my stare off with my opponent at the weigh-in, we both had to wear a mask. And it's like, you're locking me in a cage room tomorrow and I'm going to fight him. Sweating all over him and breathing in his face. He's like, it's a bit late for the mask now, like, do you know what I mean?
The whole thing, mate.
Plus, we'd all been tested and cleared. So it was like, so why have we got to wear a mask? Because technically everyone in this bubble hasn't got it. So I don't know. Anyway, we should probably talk about UFC 300, Joe, before we run out of fucking time.
Maybe. I'm just going to go check the phone a second. I haven't used that one before.
That's a new topic for us anyway. Conspiracy talk. So, drop a conspiracy theory in the comments.
Find this episode on Rumble.
Yeah, this was going to have to go on Rumble. Drop your conspiracy theories in the comments and we'll have a little run through.
Yeah, we'll dig deep on them.
Right.
We don't dig deep on much, to be fair. But.
Yeah. We will talk about UFC 300. We're probably not going to be able to title this the 300 breakdown. We're going to have to title this fucking conspiracy summit. But
yeah, P. Diddy.
What a card. I feel we're going to have to run through the entire card and we top to bottom.
Yeah.
We'll start with the prelims. Like, you look at the early prelims, yeah?
That's a main event of a fight night.
Every one of these could be main event of a fight night. You've got Bobby Green against Jim Miller. That's a good fight. I mean, Jim Miller's fought on UFC 100, 200, and now 300. And, you know, Bobby Green's Bobby Green. He always brings it. Jessica Andrade, former champion, fighting Marina Rodriguez. I don't know who that is, so I won't...
No offense.
That is a hell of a fight. Jalen Turner versus Renato Moicano.
Both looking good recently, haven't they?
Moicano's looked like a beast since he got up to lightweight.
Funny on the mic as well, isn't
He's
he?
classy. You got him on YouTube?
No, I haven't got him on YouTube.
I see his interview with the MMA guru.
No.
He did interview. Do you know who the MMA guru is?
Yeah, the one with Ian Gary.
Yeah.
So
So he done an interview with the MMA guru. I think the MMA guru like dared him when he goes on Ariel's next show to mention the MMA guru, and he did it. He went on Ariel and he was like, "I want to thank the MMA guru," and the MMA guru proper went wild on it. And yeah, he cracks me up, man. Like, I'll be honest, I do think the MMA guru is a funny fucking guy.
Yeah, he's taking it and running with it though, isn't he? Because
Fucking
a lot of,
good on him. See how many views he has?
yeah, he's doing well. Fair play.
He'll put a video out like 5 a.m. He's upwards of like 100,000 views in like 24 hours. He's killing it on his payments.
Yeah, I think the Ian Gary thing was the thing that topped him over the edge, wasn't it?
Yeah, like I'm sure he said something about he's not allowed to mention or say.
I think he got letters, didn't he?
Something like that. Like he actually got letters. So
Did you see him next to Dreekus? Was it?
yeah, he's a fucking big guy.
Yeah, you wouldn't think
Everyone
that,
ripped
would you?
over years, calling him fucking fat and saying he was in a wheelchair. And I was like, hang about. He was actually telling the truth. Like. But yeah, Jalen Turner's a beast. How he makes 155, I don't know. I think he's 6'4". Always looks like death on the scales, but you know, incredible striker, and he looked fucking awesome. What was his last fight against? Fucking Bobby Green. Nearly killed Bobby Green. Remember the ref didn't stop it? Yeah, that was a scary stoppage. That was. Like, look at this now for the prelims. So you've got Diego Lopez versus Sadiq Youssef, 2 ranked featherweights. That's a massive fight. Holly Holm, former champion, versus Kayla Harrison. If you don't know Kayla Harrison, you should get to know 2-time Olympic judo gold medalist, I should say.
Former champion PFL,
2-time
is she?
PFL
Two-time.
champion. She lost in the final the 3rd time round. Always fought though at 155.
It's going to be interesting
believe.
because she's mad.
I don't
Was
think
she
she
walking
even-
around at 299?
Yeah,
Like, did
she's
you see the
fucking
size of
massive.
it? Jesus Christ.
I don't think she ever actually fought at 145. I think it's like she's dropping down to. But I think I did hear her saying that she does like she just used to fight at 155. That was what she used to walk around at. But yeah, that's a main event. That could be like a co-main event of a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Calvin Kattar versus Aljamain Sterling. Aljamain Sterling, former bantamweight champ, bantamweight GOAT in my opinion. Calvin Kattar, he doesn't need any introduction. That's a main event or co-main event on a pay-per-view.
I'm kind of surprised Aljo's taking this fight. I feel like he could have a bigger fight. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I feel like he's really gone, rightio, I'm going to go back to work here and build myself up. But then I suppose he is moving into a new division. So
Yeah, like Calvin Kattar is not an easy fight for anybody.
No.
Incredible boxer, punches, big puncher, massive for the weight. I was in a lift of him in Fight Island. And we're looking at we literally both just weighed in when we were in the lift going back up to the room, and I'm looking at him thinking, this guy's a fucking unit. Like,
Is that when he fought Max?
no, he did fight Max in fight, but he fought main event against Dan Ige, and I fought on the undercard. I was actually chilling at the pool and on my own afterwards because my old man and Carl were staying. I was flying home the next day. They were staying because Brett was fighting 3 days later. I couldn't sleep. I could never sleep after fight, so I went up the pool and I was actually chilling with his coach, Tyson Chartier, and they're good guys. No salt of the earth guys, you know, very much like us, working class. And yeah.
That's cool.
Main event of the prelims, Yuri Prohaska against Alexander Rakic. Now, just to put it in perspective, Yuri Prohaska just headlined Madison Square Garden against Alex Pereira.
Yeah.
And now he's headlining the prelims.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
This is just shows the level to this
I
card.
don't
doesn't
get
it?
how people are slating the card.
No. There was a time where I was looking at it thinking, but now they've got some serious. Look at that, like.
That can't be the right order, surely. Fucking.
No.
Oh,
No, that's
twice.
yeah.
So we got Bo Nickel against Cody Brundage.
They're building a star there, aren't they?
Yeah, look, should it be on the main card? No, but what people don't understand, I don't think that. How can I put it in? in British terms. Bo Nickel in America is like, I don't know. Let me think of an example. Is like, let's say, would be Bo Nickel in America would be like an Olympic gold medalist boxer. So let's say Amir Khan back in the day before he turned pro. Yeah, let's use Amir Khan.
Yeah.
Then when Amir Khan turned over pro, he was pretty much when he like
AJ or something, isn't it?
Ben Whittaker. Ben Whittaker's a perfect example.
Yeah, he's got
Olympic silver medalist. Signed with boxer now. He's kind of like co-maining, or he's on the main. You know what I mean? He's just below the main event on these cards. Fighting not great guys, but they're building a star. Very much same with this with Bo Nickel. I expect him to probably walk through Cody Brundage. I haven't watched Cody Brundage, so I don't no disrespect to him. I just think Bo Nickel is already. What is he, 5-0? That's fucking insane. I think he's already.
Do they count the contender then? Even that?
Yeah.
They do count them.
I think he's already top 10 middleweight. I think he can beat a lot of the guys in the top 10. Like, we haven't even really seen him wrestle yet. He's been knocking guys out, but they reckon his wrestling's insane. Like, they asked him about wrestling Kamzat, and he kind of just laughed and was like, easy. He's like, I take him down easy. He's like, I've been taking down Dagestanis all my life and Chechens. He's like, they're easy. Which is,
you believe that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe he beat Kamzat either, but I believe he's obviously, like, he's, in terms of wrestling, he's the pinnacle. I believe he's been beating them in wrestling. I don't know if he would beat Kamzat in an MMA fight. I think that might be a step too far. Maybe it's hard to say at the minute at 5-0, isn't it?
Next.
Charles Oliveira versus Arman Taksurian. That's a fucking fight.
Yeah. Who did Arman just beat? Beneil, is it?
Beneil. Was it Beneil? No, he knocked him. Oh yeah, it was Beneil. He knocked him out.
Yeah, he knocked him out.
I remember watching Arman fight Islam on short notice. And the wrestling exchanges he was given with a guy of Islam's caliber was absolutely insane. And ever since then, he's been on a tear. He lost to Gamrot in a decision that could have gone either way. I thought he probably deserved to win it. Yeah, fucking scary guy. But Charles Oliveira is Charles Oliveira. Like,
knows how to pull it out of the bag.
If Charles Oliveira is on the game, on the ball, on his game, on the ball, whatever you want to say, fuck that right up.
Mate, this all the fucking episodes.
This is the
show,
conspiracy
don't worry
talk
about
still
it.
lingering in the back of my mind. Charles Oliveira, he was the number one contender, wasn't he? You know, he didn't have to take this fight. He was due to fight Islam. I picked up a cut, and I think Islam's obviously not going to fight till after Ramadan. And they were just kind of like, well, he was like, well, I want to fight. And tough fight for him to take. But when you hear guys like Gaethje saying he's the hardest punch I've ever been hit by, you see his pedigree at work. Like, we only need to pull up his record. The list goes on. And then the guys.
Was he saying like it feels like he's like a bolt of electric in his mouth?
As if he got hit with a bolt of lightning.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know who's going to win that one. I'll be honest with you. I think I'm on the fence. We'll have a little bet now in a bit, but yeah. BMF title, Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway. This is the fight I'm looking forward to the most on this card.
Me too. I think if you were a betting man, which you can't be, like, everyone's ruling Holloway out in my opinion, so it could be good odds on Holloway to win this fight. As in, like, if he was to win, you could make a lot of money. Like,
I think Holloway's going to shock a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think Gaethje's a fucking killer. He hits like a truck. Max is susceptible to leg kicks, which is bad news when you're fighting Justin Gaethje. But Max Holloway is not a little guy for featherweight. And he's known about this fight for probably, 5-6 months?
Yeah.
So he's going to have put a little bit of timber on, good weight.
He hasn't got to think in the back of his head this time either. I need to go back down then and defend my belt.
If he wins this, he's probably
number
one contender.
Yeah.
His boxing's insane. His range, his distance management, his range control. I think he'll shock a lot of people. I think anyone who tries to, like Gaethje, just bangs in the pocket, as technical as he is. You know, he's going to try and knock your fucking head off. But be very surprised at this fight. I think we will be.
Do you want me to put some money on for you?
Don't put it on for me, but you can put it on for yourself if you want to take my advice on it. I think Max is going to shock a lot of people. I'm not saying he's going to win, but I think people are kind of expecting him to go in there and get... think he come up to fight Dustin Poirier on short notice when he fought for the interim title.
Yeah.
He lost to Poirier, but the last 2 rounds, he came on strong, and not many people can stand in the pocket and box with Dustin Poirier.
Well, just look at his last few fights, isn't it?
Like, his chin's insane. You never knocked down Max Holloway. He fought McGregor twice. He's fought Poirier twice. Fought Volkanovski 3 times. Look at some of the guys he's fought, some big punchers. But yeah, that's the one I'm looking for the most. Zhang Weili versus Yan Xiaonan. an old Chinese clash.
Boom.
That's a pretty good fight, in all fairness. That's as tough a fight as Zhang Li's going. Zhang Li? Is that right?
Whaley?
Zhang Weili is going to get. I think she'll probably do it. I think she's the more powerful of the two. I think she's the better striker. But
I can't say I've seen the other lady. I'm not going to say her name.
And not to knock the ladies, because they, it is a title fight. But I just feel like for the BMF co-main event,
I think that's higher in everyone's mind.
For the like, we're gonna.
It's higher than the main event.
To go from the BMF title to that. Let's put the BMF.
Yeah. I'm excited though. Main event, like to see Jamal Hill back, because after seeing what he did to like Glover, I'm thinking, ooh, this fight, it could go either way, especially after seeing like Pereira is susceptible to getting knocked out.
Yeah, but it's a fucking it's like one of them, isn't it? It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like right, you go swim 10 meters through the swimming pool and there's £1 million fucking pound for you on the other side. Oh, but there's fucking 5 great whites in the water. Yeah. It's like, he's susceptible to being knocked out. But every minute you're on the feet with Pereira, he's one calf kick away from neutralising your leg. Yeah. And he's one left hook away from completely and utterly shutting your lights off. Jamal Hill is a beast though. Extremely athletic, extremely powerful. Can mix it up as well if he needs to. By far the bigger of the two. But, I mean...
Tough one to call.
It's a tough one to call. I think it's probably a case of who lands the first big shot. But then I say that, look at Pereira's last win. You rocked him. Like, I've gone in like a wild man, just boom, got it with a left hook of death and put to sleep. But big fight. I don't know why people are knocking this as the main event, and I severely, severely hope if Alex Pereira does win fast, they put him on the 301 card, because I'm desperate for a picture with Alex Pereira. And let me tell you, at the minute, he's probably my favourite fighter on the roster at the minute.
He'd probably be... Is he Brazilian?
Yeah.
He'd be there anyway, wouldn't he?
I'd like to think so. I'd like to think so. Yeah.
You're going to have to back him now then.
What a card. Interesting as well to note on before we go. Charles Oliveira against Arman, and then you've got Gaethje versus Holloway. I feel like the winner of either of those is potentially number 1 contender. But Islam's wants to fight in June, I heard.
Yeah, he wants to fight on that side.
No, the Saudi one. I think they're going to try and put him on the International Fight Week card. I think they're trying to set him a McGregor, if I'm honest. I got a feeling they're going to try and do Chandler and McGregor. They're going to do Islam and one of those two. And let's do... Really? It's like having Khabib McGregor 2 again, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's how I feel. That's the direction I think they're going with. We'll watch this back hopefully in June and be like, yeah, Tank was right. Yeah. But
are you staying up to watch that, or is it?
No, I watch it next day.
Wrong time, man. Yeah. If it was a normal,
I can't do it, but I just don't enjoy it. Like, when I stay up to watch it live, I just want the card to be over so I can go to bed. Whereas when I watch it the next morning, I genuinely do enjoy it.
It feels like one of them ones which you should though. Do you know what I mean?
My main card. Let's do main card picks before we go, because I gotta get to the gym. Bo Nickel, Cody Brunage.
Bo Nickel.
Lightweight, Charles Oliveira, Arman Taksurian.
Charles for me.
Do I go Arman just for the shits and giggles? No, I'm going to go Charles. The BMF title.
I'm going to go back on what I said and say Gaethje.
I'm going to go Max Holloway. The women's strawweight title.
I'm going to go Zhang Weili, because I can't say the other girl's name.
Yan Jonan joining. I'm going to go with her just for the bants. And main event. Shama.
Who?
Alex Pereira.
Yeah, I go Jamal Hill for that. Because I genuinely, I want him. Not that I want him to win, but I enjoy watching him fight.
Gentleman's bet. What are we betting? Dinner.
And
Nando's. Nando's after the fight.
Sounds good to me.
Loser pays.
Right,
guys. Thank you for watching. Apologies about the 40-minute conspiracy rabbit hole we went down. But I enjoyed that.
Then we'll do more.
If you want to do more of that, let us know in the comments. I'm happy to discuss this every week as this Diddy thing starts to unfold.
Yeah.
And we're happy to touch on other topics as well.
He's far enough away from us, so it's not going to affect us.
Yeah, and I feel like we're not big enough a channel to get flagged and shut down.
I agree. If we start hearing Diddy's turn up and Garland, then we know we know we fucked up.
Yeah. Nice one, guys. Ring the bell.
Right.